It's a battle for last place of the NFC East. Today, we take on the New York Giants. We beat them earlier this year, 24-14. We just beat the Cowboys 28-24. And the game before that, we also won after switching to a college-style offense. And we've seen the breakout of Bo Melton. He's been a solid player for us. Back-to-back weeks with 2 touchdowns. We've also seen back-to-back weeks with Potaway getting sacks as a rush DT. This team feels like they're taking a step forward. However, we don't want to lose out on having a nice draft pick either, because we have a quarterback that we really would like to go after. And at the end of last episode, we also took a look at the defensive line options as well. It's a really deep DT class. We've really only found Potaway, who's been good for us as a DT. So if we could find more guys in the offseason, that would be fantastic. We have 4 more games left to go. Let's make it 3 by getting through this game. And maybe we'll stake a claim as a true, not last place person of the NFC East, getting a full lead against the Giants. And the Giants will be kicking this one off. We do get a return. Fox back there will catch it at about the 4. One of the rare times we actually do get a return at the opening kick. We'll be up to the 30. Now this offense really started to catch their momentum last week against the Cowboys, really showing up big in many key situations, and hopefully we'll see them do that today. But we do have to control some of our players who have been heavily fatigued and injury prone. As Fox gets us the first down up to the 45, he's one of the players. Recently, Fox missed a couple games against the first game when we brought out the new offense, and then the one right before that. I can't remember what team we played, but I know it was a team that we should have played a lot better against, but we didn't. Maybe that was because we were missing Fox. He came back last week, but ended up leaving the game partway through with back spasms. He went to the locker room holding his wrist as he gets back, not back-to-back plays, but we're seeing him quite often to start off with. But he's back in this game. Hopefully he can maintain some decent health. We'll see him rotate out quite heavily with Bo Melton, who has just been phenomenal with the new look of this offense, as Fehoko was wide open and Huntley missed him. Huntley is the other guy struggling with fatigue, not necessarily injury, but heavy fatigue. As we'll go with a little bit of some RPO on this one, and luckily that gets over the top as Fox has a route to the outside. You can tell he's gassed. Could not have enough space, gas to get to the end zone, but down to the 1 he goes. And potentially he's setting up Turbin for another rushing touchdown. He's had quite a few recently, really capitalizing off of a great job from the offense to move downfield, and he does it once again. But that is exactly how we expect our offense to work. When we don't have a lot of highly rated players, you have to find unique ways of getting everyone involved, as we almost had a sack from one of the rush DTs in Jones, instead completion for 0 yards. And it does look like they are missing Saquon Barkley. I believe he is injured as they come out with a heavy second to go with a stretch. Cashman there will not get the tackle, but will slow him down as Johnson, who had a pretty good game last week, cleans it up. And with the Giants missing Saquon Barkley, who was involved in the first game, if they don't have to worry about him, that should just make things a lot easier, but the other running back almost gets the first down there on 3rd and long. We get him down a yard shy, and we'll force a punt. Overall, I would say, heck of a start here for our Commanders in a battle of the bottom, as we're going to start Bo Melton, send him in motion, try to find some lead blocks, which we do. Can we get one more from Ross? No, and neither are we going to find the corner. Nice tackle there from McKinney will shorten what was already a really good gain, about 13 yards on the jet sweep. And now let's see if we can get Melton down the sideline. We hit him well on this play in the first look of the new offense. Gonna have to come back for this one. Simi Fehoko really doesn't, but he does get the catch. Now it is those kind of throws we have to be cautious of. We threw a couple of those last week against the Cowboys, and it definitely cost us. As we're going to try to get Huntley to the outside here. Does break a tackle, but not going to get much. Will actually step out of bounds. Loss of 2. But as mentioned, have to be cautious of how often we're allowing Huntley to take contact. We'll start with a run here. Go ahead and hand this one off. Borgie has some space. Tries to get to the outside. We'll get a solid gain, though. And on 3rd and 1, they only have 3 defensive linemen. Interesting call for him. We'll head right down the middle, and actually worked out better for him than I would have thought. We still get the first down, though, with Borgie. Will set us up at the 27. I would really wish we had the corner route here with Campbell. Instead, it's Ross coming all the way across field. We'll see if anyone can find some space. Gonna have to roll out here with Huntley. Get what we can. He takes a hit late, but no flag comes down, and it's not even a gain of anything. And here's the play with Campbell. Having that corner route goes towards the front pylon rather than the back pylon. They actually cover that really well, but we do have a wide open receiver. Ross at the sideline with a nice sideline grab, sets us up at the 3. And once again, Turbin might have been set up great here. They do have 2 superstars on the right-hand side of the line we'll have to keep an eye out on. But Turbin down the middle, stretches, tapping the goal line. Just capitalizing on all the work of his teammates. But if he's putting us up by 2 touchdowns, we'll take it. And if you knew that one of these teams was a replacement squad while the other was just a true team, you might think it was the opposite, as the Giants really haven't been able to get anything going so far today. Granted, having said that, they've only been on the field once with their offense, so we'll see if that changes. As this goes along, Amadi in the backfield won't get the tackle for a loss, instead first down for Smith. And they'll come out in pistol. Try to set up the blitz here, which we do. Doesn't work out well for us. They have McLaurin, I believe. Get a nice gain there. However, a flag is coming in. And that one ends up being called on Shaka Toney as we end the first quarter. Surprisingly, though, they call us with a late hit rather than a few of the late hits we've already seen against our quarterback. I guess Jacoby Brissett just carries a little bit more esteem with the refs as they go with the handoff down the middle. There's a lot of space. Johnson, who's been really solid in open field tackling for us, does so once again. But the Giants have seen their most success for either side of the ball on this drive. Now can our defense step up and hold them to just a field goal as they check down to the running back who will get by one of our guys. J.R. Reed forces him out at the 2. And that'll just be big versus big as they check in their fullback for the dive, and we send the engage 8, getting a tackle basically at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like we'll essentially run it back for 2nd and goal. One of these guys are going to break through as they hand it off to the tight end. We get stuck on the line, and they are in. Going to half their deficit. Well, with our defense giving up their first points of the night, let's see what our offense does here. We'll start with a stretch to the outside. We don't have very many lead blockers, so Borgie cuts up, gets what he can. And on 2nd and 9, we'll stick with that same look. See if we can get Simi Fehoko downfield. Melton is going on a crossing pattern. So we'll see who breaks open. And it almost was going to be Melton. Instead, we'll drop this one off for Campbell, who really hasn't seen a whole lot of looks with the new offense. We're trying to find ways to get him involved, though. We just have so many different guys that we can get the ball to with this new look that it makes it a little bit difficult to make sure everyone is getting the ball, as Campbell with some space to the outside. If that ball was thrown a little bit more downfield, might have been a touchdown, but either way, nice chunk yardage on 1st down. Now for a play we don't run too often, a little bit of a sprint out here. See if anyone can get open. We'll dump this one off as Fox had some space. Try to use Campbell as a little bit of a blocker, but Campbell wouldn't have too much interest in doing that. But it ends up working out really well. The corner, or whoever it was who was on Fox, ended up, well, leaving him. See if we could maybe find a pass here. We'll hand this one off Borgie instead, down the middle. Gain of 4 to the 2. And Turbin might be getting the trifecta if he could cap this drive off with another touchdown, but no, McKinney with a tackle in the backfield. Really ruined the party there. I was looking for 3 rushes, 3 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Turbin. Instead, Borgie checks in out at receiver, comes in motion. He'll take the jet sweep, has the edge, and will plow into the end zone, giving us another 2-score lead. Well, one thing is for sure, the offense is moving. Ever since making that change, I think we've really unlocked the highest that our offense can function. With, again, not having a lot of high overall guys. Being able to spread the ball out and get the ball out in various different ways. I mean, obviously you just have the plane too as a nice tackle there from J.R. Reed. But you just have, the normal two ways, rush and pass. But then you could combine those, get the RPO, the read option. Just have several different ways to try to get the ball into a variety of different people. Really is helping out, as where do they count that? A first down. They give them the forward progress. As well as sending them inside the 2-minute warning. But if we could find a way for our defense to function in a similar way to what our offense is, several different looks, maybe get a little funky with it, as Shaka Toney doesn't get the sack. Instead, Dillard does, forces the fumble, and Hinton jumps on it. Just as we talk about trying to improve the defense in a way, they show up big as Shaka Toney doesn't get the sack, but a surprise tackle from behind by the rookie Dillard. Great play. And while we've had a 2-score lead in this game, we haven't had a 3, but it might happen as we have some decent, it was really good blocking to the outside, but that ball needed to be thrown far more to the outside. If they did, we could be in the end zone, but don't have to complain when we're up 21-7. As they come out with a bunch of that right-hand side. Who's going to lead the way? Wanted to get that one out to Borghi, but instead will be a sack by Ojulari. And on 3rd and 15, we'll stick with that same look, bunch out to the left-hand side. Set up a little bit of a play fake there. Although they're covering everyone really well, we'll just end up stepping out of bounds, but essentially taking the sack. Avoiding the hit, though. We'll send out the field goal unit. So a little bit of a letdown after the forced fumble by the defense. But we will still capitalize with some points, as that one heads right down the middle. Now with 40 seconds left, can the Giants put together a solid drive here and at least get some amount of points on the board? It would help them out a lot as Potoe gets the sack diving. He was not missing that opportunity. Now makes it 3 straight games with Potoe getting a sack, and that might be the last play. No, we'll have one more as they dump it off for a decent catch there. But we'll head on into halftime up 24-7. And I already know one game that's happened where the Eagles have defeated the Cowboys, and I'm pretty sure that puts the Eagles on top. I'm pretty sure they were that close. But as we head into the locker room here, 181 passing yards. We're looking fantastic. There are only 20 rushing yards. We've given up 29. We do have one takeaway. So offense, moving well. I want to get the running game going in the second half. And speaking of the game I was talking about, yes, that win should put the Eagles on top of our division. And we've done pretty well against the Eagles, so maybe we're not that far off as some might think. Baltimore here taking on the Patriots, down big going into halftime, 28-0. Patriots giving it to the 10-3 Ravens. And for the last update, doesn't really affect us at all, at least right now. Packers up 21-9 against the Panthers. Both of those teams also 8-5. Well, let's get back into this game. Kicking this one off, looking for the defense to make another clean stop. Maybe we could already start to chew some clock on offense while getting that run game going. And the special teams is helping out, getting the stop at the 18, not even up to the 20, as the Giants begin their second half effort with a run to this weak hand side. Their fullback checks in, shucking off some of our defenders. Be a nice gain of 5. I guess when Saquon can't play, your fullback can. As they come out with an I formation, the tight end doing some work at fullback. Down the middle they go. Nice hit there by number 40, Carter. He's made some decent plays here and there. He just doesn't really see the field regularly. Right now the main guys are Cashman and Rice at middle linebacker. As they come out spread here for a 3rd and 2, we try to bring the blitz. The fullback has some space to the outside, cuts in when he should have just hit the outside. But we all know Madden doesn't do very well when it comes to the reading of defenses, deciding where to actually run the ball. As a lot of craziness happening in the middle of the field there. No one's breaking open. Potoe almost gets back there for a second, but they do find number 17. I was incorrect earlier. I said that might have been McLaurin. It is not. I want to say it was Robinson. Honestly, didn't get a great look at the back of the jersey, but I know it's not McLaurin. So I could correct that as a nice bit of separation there for Slayton on Johnson. Well, the drive started off pretty slow, but starting to pick up for the Giants here. Into plus territory at the 37. Shakatoni with the blitz. Doesn't get there, but does force a quick pass with a quick tackle. And potentially, we might look at either middle linebackers or corners at the end of this game. I would love to find a nice big press man guy, but we also need to worry a little bit about the coverage of our linebackers. They've done all right with this combination here with Cashman and Rice, but we still have had issues with tight ends and guys, frankly, just anywhere across the middle. But if it's short passes like that, we could collapse on it pretty well. So while there's definitely areas of large need, linebackers is an area of need, just not, I feel, as big as some of the others. But having said that, with the other group possibly being corners, we've seen some good play from Johnson, definitely have seen some really good play from Amadi, and every now and then Artie Burns makes some decent plays as well. However, having said that, we have gotten burned quite often on this drive. Maybe the Giants made some good adjustments at half. We'll see if that continues as they go with a pitch to the outside. The fullback not going to get by Carter there with a nice open field tackle. And that'll leave them spreading out here on second and goal. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. As they'll go right back to the fullback who goes to that left or right hand side. Maybe get my directions correct. Left side of the defense. So in a way, I wasn't completely wrong. But let's see if we can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. They do head right down the middle. No play action. But here comes Carter. Rice should have picked that off. It just floated right in front of him. And he let it hit the turf. And now the Giants can get a field goal on a play that, on a play that should have ended in a turnover or at least a sack. But instead, 4th and goal. They have to really get underneath this one, and they do. We'll at least make it 24-10. And I said at the beginning of the second half that we were going to try to drain the clock, but the Giants really did it for us. Only 2 minutes left here in the third, and it's our first possession of offense. We don't get much on first down, so let's try to hit the outside here with Fox. Have some lead blockers. Nice spin move there from Fox, but 56 was there to clean it up. So first and second down, only a yard gained on each, leaving us with 3rd and 8. Hard count, no one jumps. A little bit of some play action here. See if someone can find some space. Coming across is Fox with the grab. Turning up down the sidelines, try to get that cut in between the safeties, but they will both bring him down. But a huge gain to the 39. And that'll also send us in to the 4th quarter where we're up 14 points. Looking to add on more. And we'll start with a power run to the outside here. Have some lead blocks. Borghi try to get around the defender, which he does. Tried to pick up another block there from Simi Fehoko, who did a pretty solid job, but McKinney will get off and get the tackle at the 15. But a nice rush there by Borghi and pretty good blocking from the O-line. And on 1st and 10, we'll stick with that same formation, and we will go ahead and hand this one off. It was an RPO, but we decided best to hand it off. The ref also decided best to throw a flag. And that one gets called on the tight end Campbell. So it backs up 1st and 18. As we come out with the empty look, Bo Melton going to come in motion with the jet sweep. We have some lead blockers. If we could find the space, had to juke in to avoid the first guy, but it juked us right on into Thibodeau. So 2nd and 16, why not? We'll stay spread here. 6.5 minutes remaining in this game. Who's going to find the space? We'll dump this one off here. Campbell will get the catch, making it a more manageable 3rd down, halving the yards needed, but still pretty long with 3rd and 8. And for that, we'll come out in what was the Tyler Huntley formation. Gonna motion over Rucker to the left-hand side, see if he could leak across. I don't know if he's had a touchdown yet for us, but we know his potential. That ball plays just a little bit too far, but that should have been it. Instead, Johnson will come out to make this a 3-score game. Hold down kick is up, and it will be 27-10. Now, I've seen crazy things, but I would sure hope this defense can maintain that 17-point lead as they set up a screen to the other side. Everson Griffin slaps it down. Those two seem to be having a fun time. And by those two, I mean Patoe and Griffin playing that rush DT role. They seem to be enjoying it. As we do have a guy sitting over there, they will give it to him. That fullback once again will get the catch and actually get a decent amount out of it. Now on 3rd and 3, they'll come out with the empty look as we bring the blitz. Shakatoni off the edge, doesn't quite get there in time, but a great play again by Johnson. Swats that one free, and now they go for it. 4th and 3, I want to bring the blitz here. As they do hand it off, no, flick it back to the fullback. They tried to hand it off to the tight end, but our guy in the middle actually makes a play, Hinton. He's made a couple, also had the fumble recovery earlier. And we could really start to chew the clock now as we come out with some read option. Wanted to hand that one off to Borgie, but actually it might be better that we didn't. Go out, slide down inbounds, keep that clock rolling. Just have to focus on the safe plays here to make sure we keep this move rolling, keep the clock rolling. As Borgie with almost some nice moves there. We'll get us inside the 10 for 1st and goal. We'll go with a pass play here. Not that we really need to, but let's roll out here, try to see if we can find some space. Maybe bounce to the outside here, and Huntley can find the corner and a very late hit. But again, no penalty comes in. You got to protect our quarterback. Well, we went into this game as a battle for 3rd place in the NFC East. And, well, looking like we're going to be getting that spot rather easily, as we are currently up 34-10 with about 3.5 minutes left. I would hope that the Giants would just let the clock run here, but I guess in a way, as they're making some audibles here, they're kind of doing that. Got now trips to the right-hand side. Shakatoni off the edge, doesn't get there in time. They do find 3, who stays on his feet, looking for at least some pat statting. I always say that, stat padding. We'll get all the way down to the 9. And that is why you have to have clean tackles. It goes from being a gain of about 3 to a gain of like 70. As they'll flood one side of the field. As they somehow get that to him. We had a guy over the top of him and underneath, but they still find him. Granted, they do have Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, and Madden franchise definitely loves some Jacoby Brissett. As they go with a pass across the middle. Caught, touchdown. They will tack one on late, but at this point, really doesn't matter. And on top of that, they want to go for 2 as well. All right, I guess 34-16. They're looking to make it 34-18 as they have some more slants across the middle, and we'll find one of them. Slayton will get the extra 2. Well, we gave Turbin the opportunity last game to be our essential closer, and he really didn't do much. But we'll give him another opportunity here to help just try to run out this clock. That's already starting off much better. Giants calling their timeout as we will cut to the outside here, get the 1st down, cut back towards the middle, allow them to just keep calling their timeouts. They have 1 more remaining. Now, unless I'm forgetting one, I don't think Bo Melton has had a touchdown today, which would end his streak of consecutive games with a touchdown, but he does have a lead blocker, and you know what? Let's might as well go ahead and extend that streak. Bo Melton, 3 consecutive games with at least 1 touchdown. Not much time left, and they are still trying to get some more points on the board despite being down 41-18. I think this is the most amount of points I've scored in this series, as we did not line up very well there. Giants take advantage of it and get at least a decent chunk. Now a minute left. They have 1 timeout remaining as they're just continually sending 4 verts. Their fullback drops that pass though on the dump off. Perhaps this is a good time to work on our man cover skills, so we'll let them do that from here on out. About a minute left in the game. Brissett will sit in the pocket. He has one guy completely wide open to the outside, but Shakatoni's there for a sack. 1.5 for him on the day, just continuing to wreak havoc on teams. Will be another pass here. Obviously going to see that throughout as they go deep. We have an opportunity to get a pick, and Johnson will do it. Try to find a cutback lane. We don't get the block there from Amadi, but that will do it for us here as the Giants will be dead last in our own division. Finally, we're not at the bottom. And this time it is dominant victory. 256 passing, 85 rushing, 2 takeaways. We didn't even turn the ball over today, which is very rare. And we will wrap up this episode actually talking about the inside backers. So primarily when it comes to inside backers, I'm looking at coverability with some block shedding as well. They need to be able to do both. The field general archetype is my preferred, That's because they can really do both. So we'll talk about some of the guys and where I think they fit. So at the top, Rashad Mayweather. Round 1 to 2 projection. Again, we're most likely going with the quarterback with our first round pick. So with him being around 1 to possibly 2, that is solid. He does have A zone coverage with B to C block shed. If that is a B, fantastic. He could be a really good linebacker and maybe someone we could possibly trade up for. Granted, I feel like we need a lot of players, so trading up wouldn't always make sense. In round 2 to 3, there is Owen Peak, and he would be like the great value version, right, of Mayweather. With B to D zone and C block shed, it's like the same skill set, just a step down. In round 3 to 4, there is Tavon Irving, and he might be kind of the flip of it, right? With C zone coverage with B to D block shed. Could be balanced if that block shed is a B. Might also just be C across the board or even D block shed. He is listed as a field general, so I would imagine they would be pretty similar. Now getting into the day 3s, Earl Floyd. Feels like such an old name, like he played in like the 80s, but listed as a pass cover guy with B to D zone coverage. Block shedding is an F. This is like a round 6, round 7 pick considering he is strictly one thing, and we might not even be that good at it. Next up is Lauren Walls. That's a name I haven't seen. Laren? Maybe Laren. He, strict run stopper with some pass cover upside, or he might actually just be really bad at block shedding. I don't know. He's a difficult one to try to project as he's listed as a pass cover guy, but has C zone coverage, A to C block shed. So he might just be a pretty well balanced guy in the 3rd round, which wouldn't be a bad option either. Oh, I think I said 3rd round. Day 3. Another day 3 pass cover guy, Doug Payne. A to C zone coverage, C to F block shed. Could be really good, could also just be okay. Now into the potential undrafteds. There is Derek Wilborn, listed as a run stopper, but has A to C zone coverage, with block shed being a C. So even if zone coverage is a C, he's very well balanced. Sean Kilroy, a pass cover, projected undrafted, with actual true B zone coverage, B to D block shed. So could be, again, very well balanced. And the last one, Dave Beal, pass cover guy with A to C zone, F block shed. He's definitely a pass cover guy, but someone you could possibly develop. So there's developmental guys, there's plug and play guys, and then there's potential great talent with Mayweather if that block shed is a B. But that will end it for us in this one. We are no longer bottom of the NFC East. The Cowboys are no longer top of the NFC East. It's been a big shift for the NFC East in this episode. We will have one more NFC East game. I've just had to include one more NFC East. Did another one. In week 17 against the Eagles. We'll play, though, next episode against the New York Jets, who are 5-9. Another opportunity to add another win. And potentially, we could even finish this season above 500 if we win out. But we can only see, we will only know if you stick along. So make sure you guys subscribe. You can either scroll down below and hit subscribe or hit my bear icon in the bottom right. But also, make sure you tap that bell icon to be notified of when these videos go live. That way, you don't miss out on any of them. This series posted every Monday and Thursday, with the state-only challenge posted every Wednesday and Saturday, and then FIFA, My Player Career, the Noob to Pro, on Tuesday and Friday. So 6 videos every week. Stick around, show your love to the channel, and until next time, where we'll continue what has been a pretty dominant streak. We'll see you then. Bye.